I finished another book. Okay, I know I probably look busted and weird and like... Anyway, I finished another book. Here's the book. Liked the book. Audiobook format. First half of this video, spoiler free. Second half, we're gonna get into the gross details of it. Let me pull up my notes here. My Sister the Serial Killer. Okay, here's author. Non-spoiler thoughts go as follows, okay? The book follows Korede and Ayula. They live in Lagos, Nigeria. Ayula is a serial killer, okay? And Korede is basically her older sister who kind of like ends up entangled in the situation somehow, physically cleaning up her murders. Ayula is this like smoke show girl, like insane physique, super pretty, super whatever. She's got this like magnetic draw that men will always end up interested in her, and she ends up killing her lovers, okay? Korede is a nurse who, by the way, definitely has anxiety. She feels physically inferior to her sister in regards to looks, but she feels like this insane protectiveness over her sister, loves her anyway, even though she's like consistently frustrated with her. So the book is a short read. Audiobook was 4 hours, and I picked it up and finished it in the same day in between like appointments for work. The book is 240 pages. The reasons I gave it 3 stars are as follows. I think it was the perfect length for the type of story it was. If it was any longer, it would have felt like a drag. The shortness of it allowed there to be depth and it not feel like a drag. You know what I'm saying? It was quick paced and it was like intricate, but it also had me feeling for Korede so hard, bro. The complexity of the main character is depicted so well that at some points I was like genuinely feeling negative emotion towards Ayula. The story is like low-key serious, but the author does such a good job at keeping it like at the same time. It was really enjoyable. The characters also were really distinct, so it was fun to keep up and like learn about them as well. And because I listened to this in audiobook format, the narrator was really good too. Like, no complaints there. No complaints. I didn't give it a 4 because it wasn't an insane story. Like, nothing too gripping. It didn't have me spinning. And then, obviously, I didn't give it a 5 because it's not one of the best books I've ever read. But I did listen to it in one day, and I'm very happy that I did. It almost felt like a movie instead of a book. Like, a book, I feel like, has a different feel to it when you read a book. But this, it was an audiobook, so it was a book. It was a story in that format, but it felt more like I watched a movie because everything was described so well that I was just seeing it. It was good. It was great. No romance in it really though. Okay, let's get into spoilers because I need to get stuff off my chest. 1, Ayula was pissing me off. The way she was so nonchalant and like didn't care about the murders, but then like also made it seem like it was an accident, but it wasn't, and it was self-defense, but it wasn't. And like it had me rolling that Korede was buying it every time, but like also wasn't. And she was like, tell me again, like, and she was like, I can't, it's so sad. Like, why is there no open communication line? You guys are sisters, you know what I'm saying? Their dynamic was interesting to say the least. Like, the dad, obviously, psychopath, sociopath, whatever, sadist. Insane power complex from that guy. I hated that Ayula kind of, like, was him in, like, a female version. I also didn't like that she kept his freaky knife. That was weird. I felt bad that Korede, Ayula, and their mom had to, like, endure abuse because of that guy, but then, like, low-key the tables have turned now because Korede and Ayula are murderers. Okay, but then here, if we start diving into the story for real, here's the thing, right? I did some psychoanalyzing. Maybe Ayula has a hatred towards men because of her upbringing and because of like her dad. She's always drawn them in, right? So she's always seen the desperate, ugly side of men. So then the second that they disrespect her or like ugly towards her, she's like low-key, it's maybe revenge killing. Maybe. You know, for being mistreated all her life by a man, especially one that's supposed to love you. Because she was kind of like on both sides of the spectrum. Like, abused by a man, but also like consistently and constantly loved and worshipped by other men. So maybe it's like there's a psychological unbalance there for her, where she's just kind of like, I have this power of drawing them in, but then I also like subconsciously hate them so much, so the second they get ugly, I'm like, literally, I want to kill them, and I do. It sucks that the doctor guy ended up in jail, because he really ended up defending himself. It does suck that Ayula survived the stab, but whatever. And it sucks that Korede is now stuck cleaning up her murders because she's like, you know what, my sister, like, she almost died. She feels like this type of like loyalty to her sister. Obviously it's like they're siblings. She told the doctor that Ayula was like a murderer and had killed a man, so then he was like, maybe his senses were heightened, and then that's when he was able to defend himself. So maybe Korede feels like a sense of responsibility and guilt for almost killing her sister in a way, like secondhand. So maybe that's why she's like, you know what, I'm devoted and decided that I will be doing whatever I can for my sister from now on. Really, it's just like Ayula is selfish and Korede has big sister-itis. You know what I'm saying? I just feel bad because like throughout the book, because Korede is a narrator or like the first person point of view, we get to see her anxiety like through and through, and I just felt for her, dude. I felt for her because there's nothing worse than an incompetent person, especially if that incompetent person is putting you in harm's way or like, I don't know, endangering a secret. Like, I don't know, I just feel like Ayula is so freaking stupid, bro. She's literally an idiot, like the biggest idiot ever. If you're gonna kill people and you want to keep killing people, guess what? You're gonna have to be smarter about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be naive. Like, don't be trying to post on your Snapchat and your Instagram after you killed somebody and lost your boyfriend. You know, people are gonna suspect you, dude. I like that this book was set in Nigeria. I have never read a book set in Nigeria. It was refreshing and it was new to me. And I think that I'm gonna dive more into that because this year, something I've decided is that I'm going to, one, start listening to audiobooks in Spanish because that's my first language, and I just feel like I don't want to lose that connection, especially after losing my mom. Like, she was the one that raised me to speak Spanish before English, and I learned English through school. So I just don't want to lose that root, you know, that I have. But then it's also like, I feel like this year I want to branch out more in terms of literature. Like, why am I reading books all the time that are like Americanized standard and like written by American people, white people? What am I doing here? There's no flavor, right? There's no culture. There's nothing. Fantasy is probably the spiciest thing I'll get in terms of like a new culture when it comes to reading American literature. Or is it literature? I don't know. American books, American writing. If you read this book, let me know what you thought. You know what I'm saying?